Okay, so we are down in Kent today. Good morning, everybody. Down in Kent, Mark the Bowlerhat Farmer. And as you know, while we've been on this tour, we've been quested by people to talk about solar destruction and what is going on across the country. And we're down here in Kent to meet the guys who are on Romney Marsh, who are faced with, Amanda, how many acres?
Well, just round us at New Church, there's 1,000 acres, and then just down the road, there's another 1,500 acres. And then there's another couple of projects that are 100 acres. And then there's two more big ones in the pipeline that we don't know how big they are. They haven't been made public yet.
And I see that on your T-shirts, you guys have got the scroll writ on it, because this is one of the things we've seen all over the country is they get a few in place and then they start joining the dots. And before you know, that whole area is covered. You know, some of the sites we've looked at across the country, 12,000, 7,000 acres. So where you are looking at the moment of a few thousand acres, that I guarantee will grow and grow. Now, you guys are now setting up to try and challenge this. So from your side, for the local community and the wider community, what help do you want? We've got 75,000 followers. What can we do as a overall community to try and stop this? Because I don't know, Gloria, if you can just spin round with the camera over here. So just over the hedge line here, from what you can see, this is all what's deemed as the marsh. So all of this is marshland, which is rife. When we pulled up, the one thing I will say is what we heard was all the birds and everything. And one of the biggest things we find on this is, and I've been back to sites after they've been done, is the absolute catastrophic devastation that they cause. And for me, that's what we've got to stop. Yeah, I know, you know, you've got a beautiful home here looking onto a beautiful view. We all appreciate we don't buy a view. However, when you look at the wider implication of that, and not just for yourself, for everybody in the neighbouring villages, that the increase in heat around the place, battery storage, obviously, did you say there's...
Yeah, huge battery storage, 100 shipping containers and more probably.
100 shipping containers. And we all know if one of these goes up, the whole site tends to go up and they can't put the damn things out, they have to let them burn. So what can the public do to assist?
So obviously from our point of view at our local level, we've got petitions, so people can visit Hands Off Our Marsh and find the petitions. We've got a petition for the New Church Shepway Energy Park, Stop Shepway Energy Park, and there's also a petition for the Old Romney South Kent Energy Park. So sign petitions, please. Write to the Secretary of State for Department of Energy and Net Zero, and also DEFRA as well, because this is grade 1 and 2 farmland. This is producing fantastic food, milled wheat. We've got peas in at the moment for nitrogen fixing, but this is a really fertile part of the country. We have potatoes growing down the road, we oilseed rape, all sorts of different crops, barley. And, you know, the thing is, people go, oh, but it's just a few fields on Romney Marsh. No, it's not. It's happening across the country, Lincolnshire, you know, Suffolk, Norfolk, everywhere you look. It's the best land, because often that's the flat land, is being taken up. And our food security is so important, and it's being absolutely destroyed. And it will be too late. So we need people to write and raise the alarm bell about the concerns over food security, especially at a time of geopolitical sort of, you know,
100%,
it's like,
100%.
So people can do that, sign petitions, support us, please donate as well to help these campaigns like ours, because we're a tiny community, really. We've got just about 250 people in our community. It's not a lot, and we're fighting, it's David and Goliath, these battles. We are fighting SSE Renewables, a huge, very rich company, and we're a tiny community.
But just remember, David did win.
Yeah, yes, that's so true. So that's what we want to make sure that happens. You know.
Okay, so what's the website? Have you got a website set up?
Yeah, so it's handsoffourmarsh.org.
Okay, so handsoffourmarsh.org. Get there, get these petitions, especially if you know someone who lives in this direction in the Kent area. Get this video out to them. Get the links sent out to all these different things to get filled out, and let's make a difference. So how many acres of, so what we're looking at over the back here is basically all of this. to go down to either solar and, from what I understand, the other side of the field as well.
Yeah, so it's going to start over there. The solar will start over there.
What, near the windmills?
Not quite near the windmills, but they'll be actually between us and the windmills is the Old Romney project. So that's 1,500 acres between us and them.
Yeah.
But just beyond, not beyond the field, just at the edge of this field, the solar will start. It will come across this field here, and behind as well, all the way round. Then there's battery storage and substations just on the field behind there, which is 100 metres from our house. We live in a wooden house, so that's a bit scary if those catch fire. And then that will carry on all the way around. Our village is over there. It will carry along the north of the village, and then there's some other sites 4, 5 and 6 are on the west side of the village. That is right, yeah, west side of the village. And they drop down to the south of the village, where they'll connect up with another solar project that's been put into local planning. So this is real sprawl.
Yeah.
And that's not, then you've got all the cabling, that's not even accounted for yet. And then apparently there's going to be a new national grid substation, which will be 500 metres by 500 metres. And we don't even know where that's going to be yet. So it's overwhelming for a community like us.
Yeah. I mean, we've travelled around the country. We've been visiting down in Cornwall, where farmers have had 200 acres put into solar, and then the company, what installs it, goes into receivership, so the farmer never ever gets paid. They can't uninstall it because it's live. The government says they don't know who's taking the electricity. Well, it's going to the grid, obviously, but nobody benefits from it. And we've seen this over the country time and time again with these companies going to receivership. Now, the challenge is when the farmer in 20 years' time is told he can have the land back, somebody pays for that. And 99% of the time, it's the farmer. But the farmer thinks when they put it into the scheme that the electrical company will take it back. They don't. And it's now £1 million an acre, I'm told, to clear land once it's gone in, to get it back to agricultural land. But for this grade 1 and grade 2 agricultural land, from my side, university degree in agriculture and horticulture, that is the best we can get. Okay? And when that comes back out, the only thing that will be good for is brown belt, which they will then build on. And that's how they're playing this game out. So, okay. Remind us on the website address.
Handsofourmarsh.org.
And there is petitions people can sign.
Yes, petitions, template letters to write to MPs or to the Department of Energy, Security and Net Zero. And you can also donate to help us because we need materials to kind of raise awareness and get more people galvanized. It's quite hard in a very rural environment to galvanize people and get the message out there, especially in this day and age, because a lot of the people in our village, they're not on Facebook because they're quite elderly. They don't do that kind of thing. So we do need the support to really get the message out. Okay, guys, this is over to you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Send this to anyone you know in the Kent direction, and send it to anyone you know in Parliament. Send it to anyone you know further up or down the chain. Let's make this go viral, because we've got to stop this. This is beautiful land. We're seeing this all over the country, destroyed by a government that really doesn't give a... Okay, lovely to see you guys, Amanda. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.